The most valuable part of being a part of Kappa Delta was, as alumni chair, I remember that I did have interactions with some of our local alumni because they were the ones who helped us. And that was valuable too for me as a young woman to learn how to interact with older, very accomplished and successful women.
Dr. Mona is a triple board-certified medical doctor and Emmy Award-winning journalist who is committed to making a difference in the lives of others through raising health literacy, promoting healthy behaviors, and publicizing public health initiatives.
My story begins with my immigrant parents who came from India to this country when I was a baby, and the educational opportunities in the United States were going to far surpass the opportunities that especially the girls would have in India. I realized how important it was to know what was going on in the world, but also how effective that vehicle was, television, that was talking to people and teaching them and telling them about everything that was happening. What I discovered when I went to Northwestern is that I missed that artistic part of myself, and I missed the literary part of myself and the language part of myself. So I wandered over to the Medill School of Journalism, which was the #1 school in journalism in the country at that time, and I was able to take the Medill courses that I wanted to take. And the more I took, the more I enjoyed them and the more I became interested in them. And I discovered that that past history of watching the news with my father really kind of resurfaced, and I wanted to know everything that was going on in the world, and I was this news junkie. It means a lot to say that you're formally trained in journalism. A degree from Medill is a big deal. Well, Jody Maria, we've been eagerly awaiting this report for 2 years. It's the product of the year. The idea of being in a sorority was part of the whole idea of belonging. And to my luck, the Kappa Delta chapter was reestablishing itself at Northwestern. So I feel like I really hit the jackpot. And I think that every day I'd come back from difficult classes. I had sisters who were in everything. I had pre-med sisters, I had sisters who were majoring in biology, which is what I was majoring in, sisters who were in the Medill School of Journalism, which is what I transferred to, so we could share all of our like experiences, and that was the beauty of coming home. No one was more surprised than I was, because I thought that financial need would be a big part of it, and I was afraid that they would look at me and say, oh my God, she's a doctor, what does she need money for? But I had just graduated from medical school, and I still had, loans, and I hadn't started working and earning money yet. So the people who made the decision, I think, had a lot of foresight in saying, well, even though we know she's on her way, let's help push her along a little bit. And I was very grateful for it. What the United States was doing to help is we were taking some of the refugees, and they were looking for doctors to do public health medical screenings. That was one of my specialties, was public health. And that's when I became part of the disaster medical assistance team. And that was my first taste of actually volunteering as a kind of a disaster medical relief responder. And once I got my first taste of it, I never stopped. The following year, we had the Alaskan Airlines crash in Oxnard. And of course, after that, there was 2001, and that was the September 11th attacks, and I was deployed. When I was working in the medical clinics, I became the first physician to ever report on the ground, boots on the ground, from the grassroots experience, and write about it in journalism. And it just went on from there. Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Rita, I got deployed time after time again. The most rewarding thing about humanitarian work is the gratitude of others. Boy, especially this last deployment in Puerto Rico. I think everybody, after we were done treating them and caring for them when they were leaving the tent, said, "God bless you, thank you so much for coming, we appreciate everything you do." They would hug us, they would clutch our hands. That was just the best reward. I have loved being a disaster worker, a humanitarian worker over the past almost 20 years. I wouldn't change any of those experiences for the world. I'm a first-generation immigrant, and I attribute this medal to my parents and their hard work. And they induct fewer than 100 people every year. And so there's fewer than 1,000 people in the United States that have this medal. Definitely a highlight of my life that just happened last year. I want people to look at me and say, that wasn't just a woman who said you should do all these great things and then represented herself as a doctor and didn't walk the talk. I try to be the picture of health and try to exude the picture of health physically, mentally, and in everything that I do.